Hi guys, so you know how these Karens trying to be up in your business, and then at the end of the day, they try to be as if they're ones who were the victims to the teams, and in the end, they end up calling the cops and etc. And then you're just wondering what just happened. This time, we have a male Karen who followed this sister you're seeing right here from traffic, all right, to the store and managed to call the cops on her and was never even there when the cops came, and he left with a huge smile on his face. That is a serious summary that I'm giving to you guys. You're gonna have to watch this whole video. I'm gonna roll this clip so that you listen to what this lady went through, and at the end of this video you will not believe what she was told when she told the story to another white person, like who asked what happened to you, looking all guys, you can make these things up. So let me just roll the clips and I'm gonna be back.
So this story time is for people who say racism is dead. It ain't. I'm gonna tell y'all about the time I got harassed, cussed out publicly in front of a crowd of people, and somehow the police were called on me. So the year is 2018. I had just started a new job. I live in rural Alabama. I would call it rural. Some of these folks think they in the city, but baby, it's the country to me. So Southeast Alabama, people serious about their racism down here, needless to say. So I'm driving to work. I had just started a job about an hour away from where I lived at the time. And so I'm making my trek to work. Happen to come through a school zone, slowed down. I look to my right and there's a car next to me, and the dude is like looking at me and like looking at, like, he's riding side by side with me. We both going 25 miles an hour in the school zone. So I'm looking at him and he's like having a whole meltdown, and I'm like, what the fuck is his problem? There was a car in front of me that was going the same speed we all were going, and he's looking at me like I'm the issue on the road. I'm just like, bro, it's too early to be tripping. So I continue driving. I look down, gas is running a little low. I'm like, let me stop at the store up here and get me some gas. So I'm not studying this man. I'm driving to the gas station. So at this point, we get through the school zone. I see the gas station. I put my blinker on, turn left, turn up in the gas station, pull up at the pump. As I'm pulling up to the pump, I look up and see this same beat up ass, old ass Corvette pull up to the pump. It's an old ass white man. So I get out my car, proceed to walk into the building to pay for my gas, because that's why I'm here. As I'm walking to the building to pay for my gas, I have to walk right past his old ass car. So as I'm walking past, he's like, you know, we were in a school zone back there. You were going fast. I was like, sir, we were all going the same speed. Like, did you really pull over here to discuss what happened in traffic 10 minutes ago down the road? For real? You followed me to the store. So the calm sister in me is trying to ignore this white man and go about my business. I go inside the store. There are like probably 7 or 8 men inside this store. Black men. So as I'm standing in line at the counter waiting to pay for my gas, this man is standing behind me cussing up a storm, calling me everything but a child of God. So I'm looking around the store like, do y'all see this? Like, is anybody gonna say something to him, tell him to stop? So I'm like, eventually I'm like, okay, if nobody else is gonna stand up for me, I'ma stand up for me. So again, in line, I turn around and I'm like, hey, what the fuck? You don't know me from a can of paint, sir? Why the fuck are you talking to me like I'm your daughter that you abused for her whole life? It ain't me, sir. Back the fuck up. So I get to the counter, I pay for my gas, and I'm telling the girl at the counter, I'm like, do you see this man harassing me? And she's like, long story short, they end up calling the police on me. I'm gonna tell y'all the rest in part 2. Just stay tuned. Part 2 is right here, sis. So back to the store. So I'm standing inside this store. This guy is cussing me out. As he notices that people around are not doing or saying anything, his vocal levels and his agitation escalates as time proceeds. So I'm standing in line, there are like 2 people in front of me. While he's standing behind me, I think it's just important to note, he's calling me black bitches. He's telling me I'm a stupid motherfucker. He's telling me it's bitches like me the reason why people get in car accidents. Like, he's spinning this whole narrative so that everyone in the store thinks that I've done something to deserve this. I had not. So again, approach the counter. The girl at the counter is acting like she doesn't see anything. She can't say anything. She's just like, I just work here. And I'm feeling bad for her too, because I'm like, hell, you do just work here. This really ain't got nothing to do with you. Just the same way it ain't got shit to do with me. So again, I turned around and told him, back the fuck up and leave me alone. And that's when everybody in the store got quiet and looked like, oh, she cussed. So as I'm walking out the store, I noticed that there's another employee standing in front of the store smoking a cigarette. I walk right past him. As I walk out, the guy who was cussing at me walks out right behind me. How you go from standing in line at the counter to walking out right after I pay for my shit lets me know that you were here for nothing other than to harass me. So as I'm walking out the store, this guy is still cussing at me at the back of my head. You black bitch, this and that and the other. So I turn around and I say, sir, fuck you. And I walk to my car. As soon as the words fuck you exit my mouth, the guy who's smoking a cigarette in front of the store jumps up and he's like, hey, what's your tag number? I'm like, sir, the car is parked right here. If you want the tag number, you're going to have to get your fat ass up, walk around this car and get it. I'm not going to, what do I look like to you? Like, why would I give you my tag number? I even said, I'm about to pump this gas and leave and you can get it as I exit. So I did just that. I pumped my gas, probably about $20 worth, got in my car and left. Y'all, as soon as I hit the highway, motherfucking police come down the street, woo, 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 like they on a high-speed chase, like somebody told them there was a serious threat in the area. They are swarmed down on me. 2-3 police cars pull up behind my car, pull me over on the side of the road. At this point, I'm up the street from the store. So the first police officer approaches my car, white guy. He feels like he's on his vigilante shit, just like the old ass man. So he come over, we heard that you were causing a disturbance at the store, and so we just needed to stop you and see what was going on. And I'm like, at the store I just left, I was causing a disturbance. I said, did you talk to anybody at the store? Because this is bullshit. I see him reaching for he's grabbing at his hip and stuff, like it's finna be a situation. I'm like, y'all not finna Sandra Bland me. So luckily, just in the moment where I'm about to break down crying because I feel like I'm finna die, a brown police officer walks up. And the plot just thickens. Just part 3 is coming. Because this is triggering a lot of traumas for me, and I just want to go ahead and finish the story for y'all because we this far into it, might as well just wrap it on up, right? So I'm pulled over the side of the road. White police officer walks up. He's on his bullshit. Next thing you know, a black police, well, he wasn't black, he was brown. I ain't gonna say what his ethnicity was. I don't know what he was, but he wasn't white. So he walks up, he's like, ma'am, just calm down. Just tell us what happened. And I'm like, I got followed to the store by someone in traffic who cussed me out in front of everyone in the store. I'm not sure who called you because he should be the one on the side of the road right now, fearing for his life, not me. So I asked him, I was like, who called the police? And he was like, one of the workers in the store. I was like, it couldn't have been the girl behind the counter. Had to be the dude outside. He was like, yeah. I was like, please, if you got an officer up there, tell him to go inside that store and talk to the girl that was behind the counter. She saw everything. So he's like, all right, ma'am, just hold tight real quick. Hold on. He go off to the side, talking on his little pager and shit. Okay. So he comes back. Now, as I'm sitting there waiting on them to talk to the people at the store, I see who? The beat up ass Corvette ride right past my car as I'm sitting on the side of the road. And he's looking at me and he has the biggest smile on his face. Like he's cheap, like all 32 showing. Probably 28 because I'm sure he's missing a few, but you get the gist. So finally he comes back, the police officer, and he's like, well, we talked to the girl at the counter and it turns out that, you know, you might have been a victim. And I'm like, you don't say. I might have been a victim. Mind you now, like I said, I had started a new job, so I'm fully dressed in like my business attire. Like I look like I'm on my way to work. Do I look like I'm here to start some shit with y'all? No. So he lets me go on about my business. It don't stop there. When I get to work, now I'm a few minutes late. I come in, my boss is like, hey, what's going on? You good? You look a little flustered. I'm like, yeah, actually, no, I'm not good. Like I had a whole situation happen on my way to work and it was like some bullshit and I'm still kind of shaking and trembling about it because I really felt like my life was at threat. She's like, oh no, tell me about it. So I proceed to tell her the whole story I just told y'all. Do y'all know this white lady looked at me in my face and said, you were mad about slowing down in the school zone, weren't you? And the moral of this story is that racism is no longer calling you an N-word, telling you to go back to Africa. Racism is not believing your story. Racism is believing that you must have done something to bring it on to yourself. Racism is believing that in some way you must have shown some type of aggression. That's new school racism. There's no way a good, sensible white man would just cuss you out for no reason. That's racism.
What's surprising me and what is making me mad is that these black men that she found in the store did not stand up for her when this man was all about her and, cursing her behind her and everything. And she had to stand up for herself. Like, what were you guys doing, really? I'm thinking they're probably afraid of the outcomes of this carrying, and they definitely did not want to blow the issue out of proportion, because I imagine if everyone is talking, then it looks like an uproar, and then it confirms that the police should come in the place, and it definitely does make that Karen look like the victim. But you must have had a lot of issues to have followed this woman that much. Like, that Karen was going through things. Because why? He was so persistent, you guys. Imagine how much HAT it must take you to just follow somebody up until you made sure that the cops were caught on them. And to make matters worse, you even just are not there when discussing these issues. And I'm telling you guys, these white cops get caught on for fun, I swear. Like, it's nothing serious, but I'm just gonna call the cops when they're gonna show up anyway, because I have said, we have seen consistent behavior of these people. Definitely, my brothers and sisters get to be called the N-word from time to time, every now and then, from these Karens, and they get to be told, go back where you came from. And just posted those, there are videos like this on this channel, so make sure you just scroll through, binge watch, and see these guys, and you will see what I'm talking about. And just some days ago, an Asian was explaining to say it's just so hard when you try to explain to these people your stories and they don't believe you. They belittle our experiences, and our faces and our color has been likened to crime and etc. time and time again. When does it stop, and how did we get here? Well, at the end of it all, I'm just glad that the sister stood up for herself. And did you see how that brown cop that she talked about, that was like, you might have been the victim, because he didn't want to come outright to say you're the victim, because it's been found among those people. You just never know what they might do to you on the road as you go back to work. So most people now play it safe, even as much as they want to bring out the real thing that is on the ground. You could have just said you are the victim to the team. That's it. That's it. But since he was with other people, he just had to say you might. So as to, stand in the middle and not be the one to be blamed for whatever decision or verdict that's going to be reached on. Guys, there's just so much I can talk about these Karens, and I just wish that you took the time to kind of just even take a little bit of a video of these people. Please, guys, out there, if you experience anyone becoming unreasonable to you and telling you all sorts of things, please capture it on video, because these guys carry a lot of HATE. They resurface even after 3 years. You're going to see that video that I just posted, and making reclaims of whatever happened back then. You just have to have some evidence. You get my point? So be ready out there. Be careful with these people. Guys, let me know what you guys think. Have you had a Karen experience? Make sure you comment below.